Alrighty, you guys, how's it going? After waiting 2.5 weeks and a lot of delays, the valve cover for the BMW is finally here from FCP Euro. So let's go ahead and get this box open and then get to tearing apart the car. So yeah. Make sure we got everything in here that we're going to be needing. We are going to be going with like the VTT valve cover later on, but this is just to fix it for now. Alright. Box inside of a box. How about that? That's why I didn't buy an OEM replacement, because it's a temporary fix. Because eventually I'm going to be going to VTT. But for now, car's needs to work. Let's see what we got in this box. Please let it be everything in. Alright. We have the valve cover. Seal is there, bolts are there. It appears that everything is there. Okay. Well, you know what that means. That means we're going to head over to the car and start pulling the crap apart. And hope that we remember how to put it all back together. So let's go ahead and get that going. So we are under the hood now. We are probably going to start off by snipping all these zip ties very carefully so we do not obviously interfere with the ignition coils. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and snip the wires, probably get the ignition coil setup off, get all the boots out, and go from there. So, cue time lapse. Well, after a whole lot of work, got all the bolts off the valve cover. Can't really see what I'm filming. Lost you there for a second. Freaking battery down the camera, but no, all the bolts are off. Unfortunately, I do not think that is the only issue with this car, which, you know, that's figured. Let me grab a light real quick, show you guys what's going on. Trusty old scan grip light. I think it's baller. But no, if you guys look, if you look down in there, let's see if I can make it so you guys can see. Hang on, let me change. Look, see all that oil? So we got, it must be leaking right behind this impeller. So, yeah, seals are out. But man, that sucks. Sucks bad. Anyways, we're gonna go ahead and try and pry up this valve cover. There's so much oil. Oh yeah, let me show you guys this. There's so much oil where the plugs are, like it's insane. Like it's bad. Let's see here. Let's see if we can show you else what's going on. So as you see, if it'll focus. Alright. If you guys can see, this light's just not good for camera. You guys can see all that oil in there. And we come to this plug, it was a cylinder 3. And there's a pretty good amount of oil in there. It's almost to the top of the plug. Cylinder 4, oil. Cylinder 5 completely submerged the plug. Look at that. Completely under oil. And then cylinder 6, same deal. Completely under oil. So, yeah, that's awesome. Probably have to buy new plugs because those things have got to be smoked. So, yeah, good old N54 things. What do you know? But, yeah, we're going to go ahead and get that cover off. Get all the oil out of there, and then throw the new one on. So let's get it going. I'm tired of working on this thing. Alright, we're gonna slowly pry her up. room over here because it's a big old freaking turbo. Oh. It goes. Okay, well, hang on. Well, it's about 12:30 a.m. Yeah, it's been about 13 hours of working on this thing. Finally got done. I didn't record a lot of it just because there was a lot of cussing involved and freaking out because, yeah, this thing just did not want to, she didn't want to work. But no, we got her all put back together. Looking good. We're not gonna run it tonight. We're gonna run it tomorrow morning. Make sure everything's working right. And then we'll go ahead and zip tie everything back up, make it look pretty. But for now, I'm just gonna leave it all just like this. And yeah, we'll check her out in the morning, look over everything, make sure everything's okay. Make sure we didn't screw anything up. Because that was my first ever valve cover change, so yeah. It was sketchy, that's for sure. We had to go buy a torque wrench because I didn't have one. And the sequence for these freaking valve covers to like to torque down the bolts, this torque sequence, holy smokes, there's like 30 bolts. It's a good time. But now we got her done, and hopefully she runs good. It looked so bad under the valve cover when I pulled it off. It looked rough, and I mean rough. My dad said it didn't look that bad, but in my opinion, it looked rough compared to all the other videos I've been seeing about these things. Definitely, the PCB system was not doing its job, so hopefully that fixes at least some of the issue. But we did have a little bit of oil in the charge pipe, so that could be the smoke issue. I don't know. We might have to buy a new turbo because we're just gonna go with a smaller turbo. But no, I will see you guys in the AM, and we'll start this thing and see if everything's working right. See you guys then. Mess of that transition. Guys, it's the next day. We're gonna go ahead and fire this thing up, look, make sure there's no fuel rails leaking, none of that, no fuel lines. So yeah, let's get it. Oh, where's the tender? Is it down in the shed?
No, should be. Right here. Jump it. Yeah, it's dead. That's the problem.
Battery's dead?
Yeah, how'd it drain? That's weird.
I don't know.
Try it again. Charging. Yeah.
Alrighty, you guys. We went out and test drove the car. It's later in the day now, just because we've been doing stuff all day, running around. But the car does still smoke. It started up way smooth. It certainly runs a lot better now with the new valve cover setup, but it still smokes, and it's because the front seal is having oil coming through it. So these cars on like diesel, they're pushing like 70 psi of oil, which is way too much for these turbos. So we went down to Speed Factory today, and the owner over there hooked it up. One of the owners hooked it up. I think his name's Ricky, something like that. Yeah, I think it's Ricky. Super cool dude. But no, he hooked it up with turbosmart oil regulator deal. Gave us a deal on that, so really appreciate that. And then also gave us a dash 4 and 4 foot long hose to run. So we are going to go ahead and get that installed tonight. There's not much space for it, so we're just working with what we got. We have this little bracket that was left behind from something. It was right here. I moved it right here, but we're just gonna drill some holes through it and then bolt it onto that, and yeah, hopefully that'll work and fix our never-ending problems. So I really hope this works, guys. I really want to drive this thing and make some sweet content with it and get some use out of it before summer's over. So let's go ahead and try and get this installed. Well, it's the next day. We got the oil pressure regulator installed, but we got to pull it back out because last night we went to start the car. Okay, and this is where we have it mounted. So there's the oil pressure regulator. We had it mounted right there. And I crank over the car and it starts. And my dad's like, shut it off, shut it off. I'm like, oh. So I kill it. And yeah, there was oil everywhere. It was all over the side of the fender right here. It was all in here. So didn't realize, should have went on turbosmart and read the directions, but there is a line that runs in the back of this which needs to go down. It runs down, and then yeah, it goes down, then under the turbo, and it connects where the oil drain is at the bottom of the block. So is what we're gonna have to do, which right now we just got to get it to where it can move, because it can't move right now. I got to get the feedback on the turbo and pull the regulator out. But no, we need, so I ordered a VTT. It's for the N54s, Vargas Turbo Technologies. They make it. It's a new block fitting that goes into the block for the front oil drain line, because that's what you use on these single turbo cars. You don't use the rear, you block that off. But it makes it so you can run a -10 AN fitting right out of the block, and then it's going to go to a 90, so it'll be coming up, and then a Y, and then we'll have a reducer on one of the Ys that goes from a -10 to a -4. Then we will have the -4 run into the regulator, and then the -10 on the other side will run into the turbo. So that's the correct way of doing it. That's what we're doing. It's about like, shoot, I already ordered it. It was like 220 bucks for everything, but yeah, hopefully from everything I've read, that will 100% fix this smoking problem. It's because when you're on diesel, you know, way too much pressure running through this thing, and it's just pushing it right through the seal. So yeah, go ahead and get that fixed, and then freaking get this car out of the garage so my dad can park in here. But yeah, once those parts show up, go ahead and get this thing fixed. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do it because I do not have a lift, and you're gonna have to be able to get under the car to get to it, and the turbo has to come out, probably the downpipe too. So probably gonna take it somewhere to get that all sourced out, because yeah, I do not have the correct tools for that. So, and I want this thing to be done right, and I could do it, but I don't want to risk up. So yeah, we're taking it somewhere. But no, let's go ahead and get that off, and then I'll see you guys after. Well, the turbo oil feed line is back on the car. We got the oil pressure regulator out of the car over on the bench. As you can see, nothing there anymore. So we should hopefully get that on within 2 weeks, hopefully, maybe 3 weeks. I don't know. It depends if we can find someone who can do it and when they can do it. But yeah, that's pretty much gonna wrap up today's video. We did a valve cover, attempted a oil pressure regulator, but yeah, that didn't go well. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. I know it's a little different than a normal video, but yeah, thank you guys for watching. Please smash that like button, smash that subscribe button, you guys, so we can keep growing this channel. And stay tuned for some more BMW content, because once this thing is done and dialed, we are going to be ripping this thing and doing some tasteful mods to it. So stay tuned for that. But other than that, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.